water tank underneath in the back.
Yeah.
Gray tank, black tank type thing.
Yeah.
When it's full, you don't want it to affect the steering a whole lot more than when it's empty and there isn't any weight back there. When you take into consideration what 250 gallons is 7 pounds a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want the like a tow truck.
Exactly.
What you don't want like how to drive like a tow truck when you put that sprung weight on the back, then the front end, then you get the wheels kicked in funny, and that's why if you ever look at a tow truck, the wear on the tires are always because that weight gets thrown around on it.
Now, so I should probably wait to take any springs out because the springs will make that difference. Hold that weight.
Yeah, you don't want to make too many changes until you have it dressed out
and done.
Have a half a tank of gasoline, a half a tank in the waste tank, and a half a tank in your freshwater tank to give you that kind of in the middle of going to be.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Toss in a cooler with ice. Toss in 2 cases of beer. Toss in your overnight bag.
Yeah.
It would be traveling.
Some Coke.
Well, definitely, you're going to have a case of Coke for me. Yeah.
Yep.
That's like back in the day on the German cars when we did alignments. We had sandbags where we laid out the car when we did the alignments, because or the guys with the 911s used to get pissed off because they'd come in, or like the twin turbos and the 930s, because we'd say, well, we're not aligning until we get a full tank of gas, because the gas tank was over the front axle.
Yeah.
On that, and they would put it in, and of course they'd bring it in empty, and then of course we would do the alignment and stuff, and then they'd go to track day and they'd fill it up, and then the car wouldn't run right or drive right, and it's that little thing like Paul was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Before you really start, it's kind of a trial and error thing, but you want to lay out like just an even flat line with X amount of water and weight in the right place, just to get the idea. Because once you start changing, you don't want to change too much. You don't want to take this out and throw bags on it and have a problem, or all of a sudden now you put new tires on and you're like, holy crap, what did I do?
Yeah, right. You just ate up $800 worth of tires on the
Oh yeah, that'd be awful.
Another thing to think about is your propane. If you're going to be having propane tanks, you want those propane tanks in place and containing some weight as well.
Yeah, 40 pounds.
You don't have to necessarily fill the tank with water. Just, dispose of some lead in the back of it for an hour or so.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Appreciate it.
I noticed the difference in my first tool truck. The propane tank was up front. It was mounted up by the front of the truck, and there was a difference with my truck I have now because it's mounted in the back. And like I said, if I actually switched the 2 different toolboxes because I had too much weight on one side of the truck and it drove funny, so I had to take and put the 4 series on one side during the wintertime, because when I have that all filled, because the battery, everything's on the one side, which was too heavy. And then I switched and it drove different. So It's kind of weird switching a little weight around. It's like the old days in NASCAR when they had the lead bias weight sliding around different times to help them out.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. You said Greyhound. Go check some Greyhound.
Yeah, that's what a lot of guys do with the tool trucks, because they find like a used Greyhound bus. It's fairly inexpensive. There's tons of them laying around, and
I know where a tour bus is sitting.
But
that should be real nice and cushy.
Man, that thing rides like a Cadillac, I'm telling you. And listen, his seat didn't have any air in it. We couldn't air it up. So I'm riding on a hard seat, but man, you couldn't tell.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like you said, Tyler, he probably has steer tires all the way around on that bus.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yep.
And I guarantee you probably have knobbies on the back and steer up front.
Yep.
You really want to go for a ride? Put the knobbies up front and see how that drives.
Yeah.
I was stupid one time and did that, so don't ask me how I know.
Hey, you gotta learn somehow, right? What's up, Coach?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. So Paul's gonna bring you a couple motors up, huh?
I don't know. Gotta figure that thing out. I gotta talk to my wife and make sure I don't get in trouble.
Meet him halfway.
Tell her we said it's okay.
Meet him halfway.
Yeah. Hey, Keith, I love your hair. You look like Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nikitas? I don't know who that is.
The lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
All right. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my hair, and I'm just letting it grow. So, like, I don't know what's happening with it. Oh, yeah. Like a bowl cut. Yeah. Now I just have to do his mustache and the little thing here.
Yeah.
I said Doc Holliday.
Yeah, Doc Holliday.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see what Doc Holliday.
Where'd Paul go?
So, he had to put another quarter in the internet machine.
Yeah. So he must have stole a whole bunch of motors from somewhere. He's trying to off them on the internet.
Yeah.
He's had them. I think he has to get rid of them. They're probably, I don't know. I would imagine they're probably up here.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he took them. I don't think he took them to Texas.
No, I think he's at the place down in Texas, scrapyard in Texas.
Yeah, it was at his job or something, wasn't it? I don't know.
Yeah. Paul, where you at? Get out of the bathroom.
He's not doing anything with the chickens. He's out in his shop, so we know that. I lost 2 chickens this week.
You lost 2 chickens.
Yeah, one rooster just disappeared, and then one died this morning. I was like, oh.
Oh boy.
Just throw them back in the woods.
How many do you have?
Now we have 8.
My sister-in-law has like 35.
No, that's way too many.
Wow.
So she's getting eggs. She's getting eggs pretty strong.
Yeah. It's cheaper just to go buy the eggs, though. If you figure out how much cost and feed and everything else.
Try having hens that you're feeding and caring for that are no longer producing eggs.
Oh yeah, useless. Yep.
That's called chicken soup.
Yeah, that's called a chicken sandwich.
But the chicken has to be processed in order to make it a sandwich.
Yeah.
So come on down, process a couple of my chickens because they're not doing me any good.
Well, that's why they have a food processor.
Yeah.
Or a snow blower. That's what you use a snow blower for. That shooting does a pretty good job.
When I was up in Western Maryland living on South Mountain, there was an Amish, or they might have been Mennonite, farm not too far away. And I'd just take the birds down to him with a cooler full of ice, and end of the day, I'd go down and give him $40, and he'd hand me back my chickens.
Yeah.
I
didn't have to do it when I was in Maryland.
Yeah. So, Paul, we were wondering those motors that you have. Where are they down in Texas or?
Yes. There's over 20. See, I've been working with the one guy when I'm not on deliveries. I'm back in the warehouse, staying away from the office so that he can't find me to tell me to do something else. Mm-hmm. I've been going back in the warehouse and helping the guys straighten out the warehouse. And one of the things we've been doing is putting all the LS motors in one spot. I counted over 20 LS motors today. They didn't even know they had.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, we need to move these things. And the ones that are truly cores and no good, get them out of here. And then I've been finding they're giving me a hard time because I like this Atlas. The more I learn about it, the inline 6-cylinders, the 4.2s, the more I'm learning about them, the more I like them. And they're like, these things are junk. We can't sell them. I'm like, well, you can't sell them because they're good engines. They're so bad.
Yeah. Yep. That's a sign right there.
And they produce almost 300 horsepower to start with.
Sounds like a new project to me.
Yep.
Guys, time for me to bail. I got to get up early tomorrow.
Hi, Jim.
All right, Jim. Appreciate you.
Have fun at PRI, Lois.
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday.
If you
Take
make
care,
it,
Jim.
yeah.
Yeah, if you make it, hopefully feel better.
Yeah, hopefully you
Thank you.
I'm going to call it a night too, fellas.
Call whatever you like, Paul. We do that all
All
the
right.
time.
And
All right, Paul. You have a good week.
You all enjoy Ohio or no, you're in Indy.
I'm in Ohio at the moment, heading to
Right.
Indy.
Heading to-
Indiana is mine.
Gotta get there Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
enjoy.
Lewis,
what's
do you
up?
have Paul's email?
Yes, I do. I think. No, wait. No. I can give you his phone number though.
Give me the phone. Yeah, you
Okay.
can give out the phone.
Okay. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Guys,
cool.
All right, Paul. Have a good week.
you do the same. Good night.
Take care, Paul.
What time is it? 10, 19. Let's see.
So Ray, I looked at that inductor. That thing's expensive.
It is expensive. But I'll tell you this, like any good tool, it's worth the money for the jams that it'll get you out of. And
Yeah.
I've never had it fail me yet. And
Yeah.
I've used it on I actually developed a technique to loosen brake bleeders on calipers with that thing.
Ooh.
And I mean, and
What
I've-
tool are you talking about?
it's called the inductor. It's a heatless, right? It's
Yeah.
a heatless, a flameless heat tool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler uses it all the time. He had it
I
out
use
today,
it
man.
all the time. Well, not all the time, but yeah, when I need it, it's a lifesaver, and it works every time. So I'd say, yeah, it is expensive, but to have that tool in your arsenal, if I had to choose now, the other tool I've been wanting to buy, it's on my list, is that it's that multi pneumatic bender flaring tool that I know Eastwood sells. It probably, I forget who else makes it. I know Eastwood is where I saw it. And if I had to choose between that and the inductor, I'd buy the inductor first.
You're talking about the hydraulic brake liner?
Yeah. The one it's like it's got the cartridges in it. You just turn it.
Oh no, that's yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's if I had to choose between that and the inductor, I would get the inductor first.
Why? Who needs an inductor?
Keith was asking me about it during the week.
Yeah, I don't need one. It's
No,
just,
but-
it'd be cool to have. I know I use it. So how are you using it on the bleeder?
Well, the trucks I worked on at the shop, the tow trucks and the flatbeds, big calipers with big bleeders, and they were all frozen. And I just take that coil and put it over just like a bolt. I just put it over that bleeder.
Yeah.
But see, they say you only need like a 10-second blast. A lot of guys leave that trigger pulled until they see smoke or until the part turns red.
Yeah.
No, I have a combination. With the brakes, I found that I'd apply it for like 10, 15 seconds and stop. Try it with a wrench or a socket even. No, and keep reapplying it in smaller bursts.
Well, with definitely with brake fluid, you want to do that because brake fluid burns without a flame.
Yes.
And it's very before you know it, you'll scorch the reservoir. If you have a plastic reservoir, it will melt, and then you have a fire under the hood of the car when you don't even realize it's too late. But like Ray said, you just want to do short burst. You don't want to you don't have to get it to where it's glowing red. It's just like Ray said, 10, 15 seconds. Try it 10, 15 second type thing, and it works.
Yeah.
The only reason why, and the only biggest thing with the inductor is that you want to have, you could do it with one coil. It just takes longer for it to heat up. You want to try to have multiple coils, and they have multiple. Actually, I would show you, but I ended up I had a guy that needed one, and I sold my inductor last week. So. And the reason why I was asking who wants one, because if I buy it on a multiple, if I purchase multiples, I get a bigger discount.
No, okay.
Is 2 considered multiple?
Huh?
Is 2 considered multiple?
Somebody.
Technically.
So if anybody wanted inductors and go in on it, I like I said, because I went many years without one, and when I finally got one, I cannot believe how much I used it and how much
I missed it.
Actually, I need it this weekend, and I don't have one at the moment.
I'll lend you mine. Well, see, and I found that on different metals, I've always used it on steel, mostly bolts, and then brake stuff. But before my neighbor moved, he came over. He had a professional carpet cleaning machine. And at the wand, it had a manifold with like 6 jets in it. And one of them was, I think one of them clogged, and he tried to take it out. And the steel jet galled into the aluminum, and he couldn't get it out. So I told him, I'll get it out. And he says, what are you going to cut it off and drill it? And I said, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I'm going to try something first. And if it doesn't work, I'll be drilling and using it easier. And I put the inductor on it. And it was so easy. It was easier than steel even, because it just, I guess it heated up that aluminum, which
You have to be very careful, though, with aluminum.
Oh, again, I used short bursts. I didn't give it a heavy, a moderation. It's moderation. And
non-ferrous, you're not supposed to use it.
I know. But that's why I was very careful, and I was very judicious with my application. Right. And man, that thing came right out. I mean, it wasn't even like if I was charging for that job, if I had on a sheet, you probably would have had to charge a guy an hour. It took me like 12 minutes. I would have felt bad. I would have felt bad.
Actually, because the jet was probably metal, that's the only reason why it heated up. If it was pure aluminum there, it would have never heated up. Actually, it would have gotten to the point with the magnetic field around it, especially magnesium. You got to be very careful because it'll explode on you. But all of a sudden, it would have just cracked.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with, like I said, it's not really meant for aluminum or magnesium. Magnesium's really, you got to be really careful.
Right. Well, like I said, it's all about the application. You got to be careful. You can't be, so many guys are cavemen with this stuff, and they just want to see smoke. And, it's like, if you want to see smoke, light the oxyacetylene torch.
Dude, use that instead.
You'll get smoke.
Yeah. So can you make it bend around somehow to go on brake lines?
You can actually rebend the coils to do anything you want. You just don't want the coils to touch each other.
Yeah.
They actually have one that's straight, and you can make it to whatever that you need. If you need something to go around, this size or down to this size.
Yeah. No, I was thinking like the brake line, they have the nut on there, and you just want to heat the nut up to get that off.
Right.
You just bend the one around it.
Yeah, actually, like I said, I would show you. We could have a demonstration, but I sold one.
Now, do you have the inductor brand?
Yeah, I
Is there a knockoff, Brian?
There is a knockoff, but we sell the Mini Ductor 2 or the Viper. Is it Viper or
the Mini Ductor 2 that's the one that has it's an angle.
Yeah, it's actually at an angle,
See,
so it gets in tighter.
Yeah, and I see mine is the original one that's just big and straight, and it is kind of tough to get it into certain spots. So I end up bending the coils to make my right angle or my 45-degree angle.
On Ray, on the older one, the mini doctor, the original one, I can get those fairly cheap now. I mean, those are fairly. I mean, I had to call and see because those prices changed. The mini doctors are a little bit more money. I get the HD because it has a light, and
mine has a light.
It has and the timer's a little different on the trigger.
Mini Ductor Venom HP, is that what one?
Yeah, HP.
That's what Tyler has.
Yeah, that's what I normally sell.
Yeah. It looks like a little gun.
Yep.
He uses it all the time. He's using it today, actually.
You can put a hot dog in it and you can cook lunch.
As long as you run a coat hanger down the center. It needs metal. It has to have metal.
Right.
We can do that.
Sure.
Yeah. That's fine. That'd be good.
We'll get that hot dog on the drill. Running around.
Looked around there.
I can see somebody doing that now.
Oh yeah.
It's been done.
Wait a minute. Justin, where are you at?
In the living room.
Why are you not down in Indianapolis?
I'm heading down there tomorrow.
He's right down the road.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
well,
heading down there tomorrow too.
I wouldn't say I'm right down the road, but yeah, I think we're leaving out of here at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a whole crew coming.
You got my number, right?
I don't know if I do.
All right.
Yeah, we got to meet up.
Yeah. How can I get you my number here? Wait a minute, let me think.
You can put it either in a private chat or just send it to
Oh
me.
yeah. I put it in the private chat. Where is the private chat? I'm on my phone. I don't see it.
Or actually,
I found it. Found it.
He's in the chat in our chat talk. All you have to do is click on it. It tells you everything.
True. That's true. Wait a minute. I'll do it both ways. What's my number?
Just say it right now over
I
here.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I just put it in the private chat, and I'll send it to you. In the Facebook thing, Majiggy.
There we go. Yeah, we'll meet up.
Yeah, I'm in Ohio. I'm gonna be leaving tomorrow late, and I'll be down here Saturday.
Heck yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, hit me up in the morning. We'll meet up.
Can do.
So, Coach, you got to start coming to some events. Meet us at some events. You and Ray.
Yeah, I got to get free. That's the big thing. I've got something in the works I can't talk about that might unfortunately tie up my time more, but it's a matter of if I take it.
Okay. Well, hey, as long as you're moving forward.
It's something I can text you about it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I'm on the fence. A major part of me is leaning towards yes, a major part of me is leaning towards sit and wait type of thing. There's a couple of things that's got to happen, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
But yeah, that's the big thing is like I want to make it to SEMA. That's closest to me, but usually I'm in the middle of my girls' soccer season. But I was looking at it this year and trying to figure for next year if I can work out breaking away for a day or two.
Mm-hmm. How far is it from you?
Oh God, I'd have to look it up, but I want to say maybe a 10-hour drive, but it's been a while since I've driven up there. But like if I hop on a plane like Southwest Air, cheap flight, it's like maybe a half-hour flight, if that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a real quick
Dang.
flight. But I want to say, I think it's 6 hours to San Diego from here. I think it's 10 hours to LA, and I think it's 10 hours to Vegas. I think it's roughly about the same to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. For sure, you're that far or that cheap of a plane trip, man. You can come one day.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was thinking about is for next year, I might be able to work it out to come out for a day or two, or at the very minimum, fly out, get there early in the morning, spend the day there, and fly back.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, we did. I did that in high school. A friend of mine was working for one of the airlines, and in high school, we rode the bus down to the city bus down to the airport. Mm-hmm. Hopped on the plane, went to Disneyland for the day, and flew back.
Yeah, that's where to do it.
Sounds like something Paul would do, just in the neighborhood.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Just around.
I've done the
Ray,
Disney.
you okay?
Fixing my keyboard.
Oh, I thought you was having a stroke or something.
I had to pop the space key off. Oh shit! Now it's really stuck.
Spacing out, man.
Hey,
I was like, you okay, buddy?
I found a picture here for. Here you go.
Oh yeah.
Now they call it the mini ductor, but that freaking thing is over a foot long.
Yeah, I saw a picture. I'm like, this is big.
So
It's like the Olympic torch.
These are obviously all of the all of the coils they provide with it. And down here in this bag, there's some flat ones, so you could take like emblems off of cars or molding. You get behind it, and you just kind of heat it up and just pop it right off. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's the kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting one too. Especially when I start working under the bus and doing mechanical stuff on the bus.
Yeah.
I'll find a rusty car to work on.
What's what?
I'll have to find a rusty car to work on.
We have no problem with that around here, boy.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch you can play with.
Come on down.
If you really want to play
actually.
with it, I got it.
Yeah.
We'll trade.
It's hard to find rust down here in Florida, if it's a Florida car.
So what were you inquiring about it for? What was the application?
I don't know. I've come across times where I had like busted bolts on some stuff. I have one truck that's from up north and it's all rusted, so that would use on there. But just I don't know. So like it would be cool to have instead of heat up something, or I was thinking even like on seatbelts, they have that Torx bit and it's Loctited.
Oh yeah.
Heat that sucker up and then you just pull it right out instead of using a torch.
Sure.
Hey, Papa Squirrel, do you want on the screen?
It is a very handy tool.
Yeah, looks like it.
Hey, I'm
Give me a
curious.
thumbs up or down. Okay.
What, Isaac?
I'm curious. At PRI, like, what kind of stuff do they have there? Like Keith was talking a while back about the electric AC for a car. Would they have something like that there for you guys to look at?
Yeah. It's basically racing, but they have all electronics and all that stuff there. It's more not technical, but more
performance.
in depth. What'd you say?
Like higher performance.
It's like less of a car stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more for like the serious people.
Yeah, it's full blown racing and all the technology that you can put into a vehicle.
Billet and turbos as big as your face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
wheels,
build ideas.
Safety gear, all that.
yeah, there's a lot of ideas down there. There's a few people I'm already ready to talk to, a few companies and stuff.
What are you
So,
looking at? Who's?
well, I'm going to try and talk to the stainless headers people. I'm building another set. I just finished one. I'm on to the second one. So, I want to catch up with those guys.
Who are the guys that are down there? Is it?
Stainless headers manufacturing is what they're called.
Oh, okay.
They make some really nice stuff. So I just built the set for that 632, and then doing some for a potential Autorama build.
Okay.
That one actually be heading out your way. He lives on Long Island.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
You'll see him or hear him, one of the two.
Where is? Do you know where he is on the island?
Not sure.
Okay. If you can find out, that'll track him. That'll pinpoint him.
Yeah. We got a couple cars out there.
Hmm.
This I think will be our third.
Cool. Yeah, I hope these guys use them and don't just trailer queen and park them in the house and never take them out. It's a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one guy uses his a little bit.
Good.
He's got a Gasser Willys.
Nice.
Well, guys, I'm gonna hit the rack because
Yeah, you got to rest up, Lewis. If you're not feeling well,
yeah,
Feel better, man.
put stuff together for a long day of driving
Yeah,
Indianapolis.
exactly. Get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
Hi, Lewis.
Look forward to seeing you down there, man.
All right. Hey, you guys have a safe week. If I don't talk to you, and if you need me for anything, hit me up.
You got it, Lewis.
Take care. Be safe.
All right.
See ya.
All right, later.
So long.
Hold on, I'm about to end streaming. I'm about to cut you guys off. Hold on.
We're gonna end. We'll end it.
I'm on the phone here, so I don't know what I'm doing. How do I get off?
Yeah, I think that was a
Battery out of the phone.
that was great last week too. We did that, Lewis. We did that last week. We had some hot topics we had to talk about. And I said, you know what? This stream is over.
I know, just right now.
You got to get real. Huh?
We got down to business.
I watched the replay. I was like, oh man, what'd I miss?
You missed all the good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny would have loved it.
I actually had a bit of a rant going there. Yeah, but hey, that's
You get that sometimes.
Brian, have you seen Matco's latest video, the latest promotion video on YouTube?
You miss me freezing up with my fire stick.
Right. Brian, I was wondering if you saw Matco's latest promotion video on YouTube.
No, I have not.
It's for the drawer liners that are interchangeable with colors, and they're making like checkerboard patterns out of them, and then showing how you can attach the socket rails and
on our tool grid.
Yeah, that's the latest one this week they came out with.
Yeah, I've been
interesting looking. I don't know if it's for me, but it's interesting looking.
I've it's taken me 5 months to try to finish my tool grid.
You can never decide where to leave it, right?
Well, right. I mean, it's actually it's very good. It's very organized. And
I'm going to tell you this: it's not made for people who are either indecisive or too technical. Because I would never know. I would never be happy because I'd always be changing it.
That's one of my problems that I have. The only thing that I do like about it, and I've actually went back. This is where this was the where's like on a socket rail. On our socket rails, they have here's on our socket rails, they actually have 2 holes to put screws, right?
Yeah.
So now it's a lot easier on that tool grid to screw this down instead of taking each individual block.
I thought there were posts that would sit on,
Yeah, well,
so
they
you
are.
could move it.
They are. See, this is. See, this right here. And of course, the only problem is I got the older version. The newer version is a lot nicer, as in easier to set up because you don't have to. See, this would be a socket holder for a
3/8?
half inch.
Oh, half. Okay.
So, and it has a hole in the center where you put the screws. So, you know, you screw this down, and then you put a socket, and then you put an extra
on the rail.
Right. Well, the problem is you get halfway down, and then you realize that you didn't space it out.
Well, you got to put the piece on in the socket, then put the next one in the socket.
Right. And it gets very time consuming.
That's a lot of screws, man. That's a lot of screws.
I started with that, and then I was like, man, F that. So then I went back to the rail.
Yeah.
And it made it a lot faster. Now I'm in the middle of trying to see, like, they have these.
That reminds me of building like a steel shed. You got like 9,000 screws.
See this is, see how it's half cut?
Yeah.
Well, this is to hold a ratchet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you put your ratchet on one end, and it has another end where it goes in. So then I started laying out for the ratchets, and like I said, I get halfway through and just say, well, I want it this way instead, or I want it that way. And next thing you know, it's been 5 months or 6 months, and I got my tools all over the place again.
No, I would not. I wouldn't be happy with that.
So
I mean, I have no problem. You know, I had a set of 3 ratchets. They were in a plastic. They put that in the drawer and let it. That's where they sit. I have no
bag
problem.
of screws.
Oh, screw that. Screw that. It's too many screws.
Yeah.
It's like building a stupid shed. You know, they give you like 9 million screws.
Now this here is a newer peg, and this does make it a lot easier. Because see, it has
yes, that's what I saw. Right. Okay.
And so you plug that in, and then, like I said, this has a slight cutout. See how that's slightly cut?
Yeah.
That would hold a ratchet
or extensions.
This would be a 1/4 inch holder.
Okay.
But the only problem I have, and I try not to be anal about this, see, they changed the color.
Yeah.
See, before your see, your 1/4 inch stuff was red, and your 1/2 inch is blue. So they had different colors for the sizes. Now they make them like gray and black. So if you were, some guys like today, I know we're still alive, and I won't mention any names, but I had a guy that was upset because.
Hold on a minute. Since Lewis Lee is gone, he's recovering, and he's not feeling too well, and we're shifting gears here. I think it's time to say this episode of Playing Traffic is over for the masses. We got a few things to take care of, so we'll be back next week, and we hear all about PRI and all this other good stuff. So for Lewis Lee, Ray Guarino signing off. All you guys, you're with me. See you next week.